we could save New Zealand $11.7 billion a year if we shifted light vehicles to electric. Hi, my name is Nigel Broomhall and I'm the CEO and founder of ChargeSmart. I've been involved in EVs since about 2009 when I ran the EV program for Meridian Energy. And one of the big things that we tasked ourselves with was assessing how many vehicles we could transition to EV without having a massive impact on the electricity industry and the networks. And we worked out that we could replace almost all light vehicles on the road today, and around that time it was about 3 million, now it's about 3.4 million, with electric vehicles, but, and there's always a but, only if they're charged in a smart way. And by smart, what we meant by is off-peak, away from the traditional peaks. When we get home, we turn all the lights on, we turn heating on, we turn cooking on, shifting it to off-peak evening times. So we get the most out of the electricity network and we get the most out of the renewable generation portfolio, which New Zealand should arguably be very, very proud of. So I've been out the last few years and I've scoured the world looking for technology that can meet that criteria and can meet the mission of ChargeSmart, which is to enable a smart EV charging future for New Zealand. There's 4 main criteria that I focused on in looking for products that could meet those needs. The first and foremost, of course, was that it had to be smart. Now, the charger has to have some type of onboard communications and it has to be based on open standards, and it also has to do some good things around load management, active load control on site and things like that. So we focused first and foremost on the chargers had to be smart and they had to be connectable to a third-party platform, hence the reason why open standards. Number 2, WorkSafe compliant. WorkSafe are there to keep Kiwis safe, and I always say electricity is a product that is best never experienced directly, and that always gets a chuckle, but it is something that's very near and dear to my heart. I lost somebody to electricity a long time ago, so it's very, very important that electricity is safe for you, safe for your family, and safe for anybody in a public context using an EV charger. So we select hardware that is WorkSafe compliant. Number 3 is that it has to be future-proofed. Now, I get a lot of questions about future-proofing and customers asking, am I buying into something that's going to be redundant in the next 12 months? We make sure that that's not the case, that this technology will go 3-5 years plus, and I'll take you through some of that in a later video series. And the 4th area, and it's something that I learned in working for IBM for 4 years, is that good design is good business. The technology it's not good enough that it just functions well. It actually has to look great too. So we focus on technology that looks great, because you can hang these chargers on the wall of your garage, on the outside of your house, on the outside of your commercial building or in your parking lot, and on the street. And residential customers don't want ugly pieces of hardware on their houses. Commercial customers want on brand, and they don't want ugly pieces of hardware on the side of their buildings or in their parking lots. And councils don't want ugly street furniture. So it's not enough that it functions well, it also has to look great. As a result of that, we now have 150 plus products in our portfolio. They're not all on our website, so we can actually tailor stuff to your requirements. So please come and have a chat to us. But we are 100% focused on EV charging only. We don't sell anything else. We don't focus on anything else. For us, it's all about an electric, a smart EV charging enabled future for New Zealand. And so we're focused on that. And we do everything now from home charging right through to 350 kilowatt DC chargers that, if your car could handle it, could give you 480 kilometers of range in 12 minutes. That's time to have a pie and get a coffee made inside. That's a gas station experience. So I'm really excited about that, because there is a car that's coming to the New Zealand market that can actually handle that, which is just really cool. So ChargeSmart can provide you the hardware and we can install it. ChargeSmart can provide you with remote charge point management, and ChargeSmart can provide you the ability to monetize your EV charger. Even if you're not going to do that today, we can help you put in hardware that can ensure that you can do that into the future. But let's get back to that 11.7 billion, because you're probably thinking, yeah, I'm not sure I believe that. Let's have a look at the numbers and how I've worked that one out. First and foremost, there's a massive savings in fuel, which equates to around $6.9 billion. The average retail cost of electricity across New Zealand is 29.2 cents a kilowatt hour. I might be out by a point, but it's around that. And fuel costs, as we know, have been incredibly volatile, going up and down. So massive savings, massive difference in cost. If you compare a Toyota Corolla, pretty efficient little car, driving the average number of kilometres that a Kiwi drives now is about 11,500. An EV is 376% cheaper to run on fueling cost alone than a Toyota Corolla. The big issue is the capital cost of the car, but that's coming down every year, and it will continue to come down. So that's going to mean massive savings for us as an island nation that imports a lot of oil and liquid fuels. The second big area is maintenance. Now, EVs cost about 80% less on average per annum to maintain than an equivalent petrol car. And petrol cars have a lot of moving parts, so they have 2,000 plus moving parts. EVs have got like 20. They don't have oil. You don't have to worry about topping things up, apart from a radiator for battery cooling if you've got thermally managed batteries. But they're very, very simple, and electric motors are very, very stable. So maintenance costs is absolutely massive in terms of savings. Your average petrol car, diesel car costs you $550 a year to save. Your average to maintain. Your average EV is going to cost you $100, $150 a year. And then the third big area, which is probably the most controversial, is health. So there is a reason why a number of cities around the world are rapidly backing out of internal combustion engines, particularly diesel, because the World Health Organization has stated that the real cost of premature death from respiratory illness and heart disease, specifically from diesel emissions, is about 1% of GDP. Now, in New Zealand's case, it's about $3 billion. So you add those numbers together and you get to $11.7 billion. And that's without even taking into consideration the fact that if we did that, all of a sudden this 100% pure marketing slogan that we've put around the world that people do believe actually looks closer to the truth. So there's a whole bunch of marketing and ecotourism benefits out of that aren't even equated in that 11.7 billion. Now, you're probably thinking I hate cars. I'm like a large part of New Zealand in that I love cars and I love speed. In fact, if you join and sign up, I'll send you a newsletter, and most of it's about the cars. The charging infrastructure, I've nailed a whole bunch of smart stuff that I think is really good. I get really excited about what's coming down the pipeline in regards to new cars. And I keep people up to date with that sort of stuff. So I really love cars. I don't have a self-composting toilet and live in a tent. I love cars as well. But you can't get away from the size and the quantum of that potential saving that's coming at us. And $11.7 billion a year is massive. So the quicker we can get to that future, I think the better. But the benefit is only if we can charge in a smart way. If we don't, and we all charge at 6 o'clock, and we all get home, we plug our 3-pin plug-in, which won't work because our batteries will be bigger because we have bigger range out of our vehicles. But if we all did that and we made the peak worse, we make the electricity industry less efficient. They have to invest a massive amount of money to reinforce for those short peak times, and then they smear that across everybody. And that really, for me, would be an abject failure. And is one of the things driving me around ChargeSmart is that I don't want to see the cost of electricity go up for those that can least afford it. And if you can't be identified as using electricity to charge your car, then there's no way that any dedicated tariffs can be built or anything like that, and that they have to smear that across everybody, which is just wrong and dumb. So we'd love you to join us on this journey to make New Zealand a smart EV charging part of the world and a smart EV charging future. Have a look through our site. Feel free to reach out. There's plenty of places through the site you can use to contact us. We love feedback. If you think you see something that's wrong or something needs fixing, let us know. We prefer solutions, not problems, so don't just tell me everything that's wrong. Definitely tell me what you think we should do to get it right. But let's start having a chat. We'd love to talk to you about your journey to EV, be that at home, be that at the workplace, or maybe you're thinking about public charging. Thanks very much for listening to my wee rant. Really appreciate the time, and thanks for having a look through our site.